Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Emiliya. This is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer of the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And first of all, thank you for making a comment over at my website. You say, hello, my name is Emiliya. I would love to ask you some advices about how to get good scores. I'm about to take TOEFL after 2 months, and I have to get 80. I'm actually staying in the U.S. Could have any meeting with native speakers, but I know for me it doesn't work. I already took a TOEFL 1 month ago, and my scores were really bad. I have a big problem in the reading part. Please help me and give me some important advice of how to memorize new words and have an idea while I'm reading. I cannot catch the main ideas. Thanks in advance. Good questions. Okay, Emiliya, or Emiliya, I should say, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. There's basically 4 basic things that you want to do to improve your reading. 3 of these things you do directly at my online TOEFL course, and 1 of them you have to do on your own. I'll talk about the 1 first. First of all, in order to have good concentration and good comprehension, and in order to be able to understand what you're reading, catch the main points of what you're reading, you have to practice reading extensively for about 45 minutes a day, every day. You have to do this for several months. What do you read? Read newspapers, read magazines, and most importantly, read longer books. The more you read, the easier it will be for you to concentrate and remember what it is you're reading. This is very, very important. This you have to do independent of any school, any TOEFL course, anything. You must read. It is that simple. Now, number 2, you have to work on your vocabulary. And that's why I have the first section of my online course is vocabulary of my 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. You need to build your knowledge of both basic and advanced vocabulary. Remember, sometimes on the independent speaking task, on the independent writing task, you will need to draw on basic vocabulary in order to answer the question. Now, you also need a good knowledge of advanced vocabulary. This helps you during your lectures, during the reading passages on the TOEFL exam, and in the integrated writing and integrated speaking sections. So you really need to work hard on building your vocabulary. My vocabulary section does have 1,700 words that you can study. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of practice exercises to help you learn the definitions, the synonyms, the antonyms, and even sample sentences of the words that you're studying. I actually have an ebook. I have a 150-page ebook, 20 chapters, designed to help you learn some good, solid TOEFL vocabulary. So this is also important. Now, that's the second thing. Remember, read extensively every day for several months. Number 2, you need to build your vocabulary base. This is also very important. Now, number 3, you have to become familiar with the TOEFL IBT reading question types. You have to know how to identify the question and then understand the strategies for answering those particular questions. Again, in my reading section, I actually have all of the different IBT question types. You can see them, you can see some sample reading passages, and you can also learn the strategies for answering these different types of reading questions. For example, what are you going to do? I'm going to just say Emiliya. What are you going to do, Emiliya, when you see the chart or the schematic table, which is typically the last reading question at the end of a reading passage? How do you plan on answering that question? Or how do you answer the rhetorical type questions? How do you answer the detailed type questions and the vocabulary questions and all the other types of questions that you'll see on the TOEFL? You have to be pretty good at understanding what those strategies are. Now, finally, The fourth thing that you want to do is you need to increase your reading speed, because the reading passages are quite long and you have a limited time to read them, and you have to be able to read quickly and understand what you read. Remember, if you read fast but your comprehension is zero, that's terrible. What you want to do is to increase your reading speed gradually with your comprehension staying right around 80%. Now, in my reading section, Emiliya, I do have 70 different speed reading tests to help you improve your reading speed from 100 to 350 words a minute. Here's how it works. You see a video. In the video, you'll see a passage. You have 1 minute to read the passage. The very first reading practice test is 100 words. So you see the reading passage for 1 minute, and then you click to take the quiz. You answer the 5 or 6 questions, and you get a score. And then the next reading test is 105 words. And you again have 60 seconds to read that passage and then answer the questions. These are all academic type passages, and as you go through these skill building reading practice test exercises, you'll get better at reading faster, remembering more, and having good comprehension. It will happen, it does happen, and you, Emiliya, can improve your reading comprehension. It does not need to be terrible. You can change it. I can help you change these things. Now, let me just recap what I said. 4 basic things to improve reading. 1, you have to read extensively every day for about 45 minutes. Number 2, you have to build your vocabulary. Number 3, you need to become familiar with the TOEFL IBT reading question types and the strategies for answering them. And finally, you need to improve your reading speed to a minimum of at least 300 words per minute with 80% comprehension. Alrighty, so does that make sense? Let's go back to your questions again, make sure I've answered pretty much everything you said. So you'll notice sometimes when you email me, when you're one of my students, I usually, in many cases, I will answer you either by audio or by video like I'm doing right now. So I think I've covered it. Now, at this point, I'd like to invite you to become one of my newest students. Currently this month, I have about 180 students, and they're all doing exactly the same thing that you want to do, is they want to improve their TOEFL score. Many of my students want to get over 100. You want to get 80. We can do this, right? So remember, the sooner you subscribe and become one of my students, the faster you will get on the road to improving your TOEFL scores. All right, thank you very much, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.